Hello and welcome to class. Today's gentle flow is a chance to slow down, move with intention, and to check in with yourself. If you're new here, my name is Sierra. I'm so happy that you could make it to practice. Our class theme is to focus on your inner dialogue, the voice in your head that shapes how you see yourself in your day. As we move, I encourage you to notice how you're speaking to yourself. Is it helpful, supportive? If not, this is your chance to practice shifting it. Small changes in how we speak to ourselves can make a big difference. Let's use this time to reset and create a little more space for softness and kindness towards yourself. Just coming to a comfortable seat, we'll place our right hand on our belly and our left hand on our chest, starting off with 3-part breath. On your next breath in, feel your belly, your rib cage, and your chest rise and expand. On your next breath out, feel your chest, your rib cage, and your belly melt back and contract. Inhale, feel belly, rib cage, and chest rise and expand like a balloon all the way at the top. And exhale, feel chest, rib cage, and belly melt back and contract, emptying the body of air. Last breath just like this. Release the arms down onto your lap. Slowly come down onto your spine. We'll meet laying down on your back, however you choose to get there. Just meeting me on the ground. Wrap your knees up in towards your chest. Hug yourself up in a ball. And find movement by gently swaying left and right on your spine, giving yourself a little back massage. Thread your arms through your knees and grab the outside edges of your feet or ankles, coming into a happy baby pose. Draw your knees in towards your armpits. Flex your feet up towards the sky. You might find movement by gently swaying left and right, or extending one leg and then the other, or taking a full straddle pose and extending both legs. Take what feels best. Allow your feet to float down onto your mat. Walk your fingertips to meet your heels. Check your distance. Feet are hips distance apart, setting up for bridge pose. On your next breath in, lift your hips up towards the sky and focus on rooting down through your arms to lift your hips up just a little bit higher. Grab the outside edges of the mat with your hands and actively pull your mat apart with your arms. Create some resistance. Slowly lower your hips all the way back down, and just transitioning from happy baby to bridge pose, we'll grab the outside edges of our feet again. Open your hips. Float your feet back down onto the mat. Inhale to lift your hips up towards the sky, bridge pose. Actively pull your mat apart with both of your arms. Lower your hips back down. Come back to happy baby. Thread your arms through your knees. Grab your feet. Float your feet down. Send your hips up nice and high, bridge pose, stretching the front body and your quads, activating your hamstrings. Slowly lower all the way back down. Come back through happy baby one more time, stretching your hamstrings. Allow your feet to float down onto the outside edges of the mat and extend your arms out long to a T. Drop your knees over to the right side of the mat, come back through center, and then windshield wiper your knees over to the left. Just creating a windshield wiper motion with your knees, or drawing your gaze in the opposite direction past your fingertips. Just creating a little space in the lower spine, loosening the hips. A couple more rounds just like this. Come all the way back to center. Wrap your knees up in towards your chest. Create a little momentum and rock yourself all the way up to seated at the top of the mat. From here, we'll just draw our feet to the outside edges of the mat, and then again, just windshield wiping the knees left and right. Drop your knees over to the left side of your mat and pop up into your shins into a knee stand. Come back to center, drop the knees over to the right, shift your hips forward, squeeze your glutes. Come back to center and then alternate right to left, left to right, just at your own pace. Your fingertips might be on the ground, or you might not use your hands at all for a little extra mobility challenge. Try to even up on both sides. And then come back to center. From here, we'll just cross our ankles or shins. We'll roll to a tabletop position or however you choose to get there. We'll inch ourselves back towards the back of the mat. Draw your knees out mat's distance, big toes touch. And then gently walk your arms out long in front of you, setting up for child's pose. Allow your forehead to melt down and kiss the mat. Allow your hips to melt down towards your heels. Take a moment to breathe and check in. Without overthinking, notice the tone of your inner voice right now. If it feels critical or tense, gently shift to something simpler. I'm here and that's enough. Walk your arms over to the left side of your mat. Flip your right palm up and interlace your left hand on top. Actively pull your right arm away from your body with your left. Twist your chest to face the left and melt all of your weight into the right side. Allow your head to hang heavy, and focus on drawing your right hip point down towards your right heel, creating a little more space. Mindfully walk yourself back to center, and then we'll take it to the opposite side. Really lengthening your arms out long to the right. Flip your left palm up to face the sky and interlace your right hand on top. Squeeze the palms together and actively pull your left arm away from your body with your right. Twist your chest to face the right. Melt all of your body weight into the left side. Allow your left hip point to melt down towards your left heel. And on each breath in, can you create a bit more space on the left side of your rib cage? And on each breath out, can you melt a little deeper towards your heels and let go? Release the bind and make your way back to the center. Separating your arms about mat's distance apart. Gaze towards the top edge of your mat. And on your next breath in, slowly slide through your arms and meet me laying down on your belly. Extend your legs, tops of the feet pressing down, pelvis pressing down. Setting up for oscillating cobra. Walk your fingertips out a few inches away from your mat and point your elbows up towards the sky. On your next inhale, extend your arms, lift your chest, gaze up towards the sky. And on your exhale, slowly melt all the way down vertebra by vertebra. Chin to chest. Inhale, extend, lift, open your heart, gaze up. Exhale, slowly melt all the way back down, let it go. Last one, chin to chest. Inhale, extend, lift, gaze up. Exhale, slowly melt all the way back down, let it go. Walk your forearms in, create a pillow with your forearms, and either draw your cheek or your forehead down, and windshield wiper the knees left and right, just resetting the lower spine. When you feel content, extend your legs long, come back to neutral, ground down through your palms next to your rib cage, send your seat back towards your heels, child's pose. Gaze forwards, inhale to slide through your arms, lift your chest again, take a back bend, cobra. Exhale, hips to heels, press it back, child's pose. Gaze forwards, inhale, slide through your arms, lift your chest, back bend. Exhale, press it back, round your spine, hips to heels. Inhale, come forwards, lift your chest, take a back bend. Exhale again, hips to heels, child's pose. Tuck your toes and send your hips up and back, meeting in downward facing dog. Just taking your dog for a walk, pedaling left and right, stretching your hamstrings, tapping your heels. Weight is in your thumb, your index, and your pinky finger knuckles, not your wrists. This is home base. Let your head hang heavy. You might take a few yeses and a few nos. Come up under the tiptoes and slowly drop your heels over to the right side of the mat and gaze up underneath your left armpit. Come all the way back to center, and then slowly drop your heels over to the left and gaze up underneath your right armpit, leading with your chest. Come all the way back to center, gaze towards your hands, and gently tiptoe your feet to meet your hands all the way at the top of the mat. Grab a hold of your elbows, add a gentle bend to your knees, and just gently ragdoll the body left and right, hinging at your hips. Again, taking a few yeses and a few nos with the neck. Release any resistance here in the upper body. Relax the arms down, gentle bend to the knees, slowly rise all the way up to standing, vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last to rise. Meeting in Tadasana, ground down through the feet. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up towards the sky, palms touch. Send your weight into your heels, shift your hips forwards, and lift your chest up high, coming into a back bend. Keep shifting your hips forwards, don't collapse in your lower back. Inhale to come all the way back up to center, and exhale to swan dive your arms down, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward, spine straight. Exhale, plant the palms and step the right foot back into a runner's lunge. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms rise all the way up towards the sky. And on your exhale, draw your left forearm on top of your left thigh and stretch your right arm up and away. Take a side bend towards the left. Inhale, arms rise all the way back up to center. And then on your exhale, draw your hands down to frame your front foot. Extend the front leg long, half split. Envision drawing your chest towards your shin. Gazes forwards. Ground down to the left foot, bend the left knee. Inhale, left arm rises all the way up towards the sky. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, revolved lunge. Actively squeeze your hips towards the center of the mat. Square your hips. Slowly draw your left palm back down to frame the front foot. Step your left foot back to meet your right plank pose. On your exhale, lower half or all the way down. Inhale to lift your heart, take a back bend, gaze up, baby cobra, or up dog, yogi's choice. And on your exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to kick the right leg up and back. Bend the right knee, stack the hips, and maybe you take big circles in one direction, just opening your hip. And then reverse, 2 circles. Kick your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Square your hips, point your toes, and slowly draw your knee in towards your nose, hover. Plant your right foot right in between your hands. Gaze forwards, open your chest. Big step forward, step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips come to the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise all the way back up to standing, vertebra by vertebra. Root down, rise up. Ground down through the feet. Lift your kneecap, squeeze your core. Inhale, arms rise, palms touch. Send your weight into your heels. Shift your hips forwards, lift your chest up, take a back bend. Exhale. Inhale to come all the way back up to neutral. And on your exhale, swan dive down, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms and step the left foot back. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale to swoop the arms up. Pelvis scooped in, shoulders stacking over hips. Draw your right forearm on top of your right thigh and stretch your left arm up and take a side bend over to the right. Gaze up, twist your chest up. feeling a deep stretch in the front of your left hip. Inhale, arms rise, shift forwards, and on your exhale, plant your palms down, frame the front foot, and extend your front leg long, coming into a half split. Crown of your head reaching forwards. Ground down through the front foot, ground down through the left palm at the center of the mat. Lift your right arm up towards the sky. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee. Revolved lunge pose. Gaze up, lead with your chest. Slowly float your right palm back down to frame the front foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, lower half or all the way. Inhale to back bend, gaze up, open your heart. Exhale to press the back, meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, kick the left leg up and back. Bend the left knee, stack the hips, and take big circles with the left knee in one direction, opening the hip, and reverse. Extend the leg long, point the toes, square the hips, and on your next exhale, slowly draw your knee in towards your nose, round your shoulder blades. Plant the foot right in between the hands, gaze forwards, open your chest. Bend the back knee, big step forward, step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. Root down, lift up, arms rise all the way up towards the sky, palms touch. And on your exhale, slowly draw your hands down to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Send your weight into your heels, bend your knees, inhale, arms rise. Sink your hips low, chair pose. Scoop your tailbone in, your core is active, spine is straight. On your next exhale, forward fold, extend your legs. Inhale to half lift, gaze forwards. Exhale to plant your palms and step your right foot back into a lunge pose. Drop the back knee down, untuck the back toes. Inhale to swoop your arms up towards the sky. Guide the left forearm on top of the left thigh, right arm rises, take a side bend to the left. Inhale, arms rise all the way back up towards the sky, shift your hips forwards, and on your exhale, cactus your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, swoop your arms up. Exhale, cactus, elbows 90 degrees, shoulder blades squeezing in. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, cactus, open your heart. Plant your hands down to frame the front foot. Extend your front leg long, half split. Come up onto your heel. Draw your hips down towards your right heel. Inhale to shift forwards, ground down through your right palm, and swoop your left arm long back behind you. Gaze back behind your left fingertips, coming into a wicked pigeon pose or nectar of the moon pose. Right hip is hovering, left hip is opening. Draw your hands back to frame the front foot. Pivot on the right toes, so the right toes face the long edge of the mat. Come through warrior two. Sink low in your left knee stacking over your ankle. Flip your left palm up, and on your exhale, bend back towards the back of the mat, peaceful warrior. Maybe the right hand slides down the right thigh, or maybe it binds behind the back. Deep breath in. Long exhale out. Come back through warrior two. Pivot the toes to face the long edge of the mat, arms rise, flying warrior. Exhale, sink low in the right knee, skandasana, pivot the left toes to face the sky. Inhale, arms rise all the way back up, and then on your exhale, sink low in the left knee, and I kept this in here just because you have to give yourself a little grace if you fall out of it. It happens to the best of us. And then once you're here, just really sink low in the left knee. Pivot the right toes to face the sky. Come up onto the heel. When you're ready, guide your hands to frame the front foot and step the left foot back to meet the right, meeting back in a plank pose. On your exhale, slowly lower all the way down or halfway. Inhale to take a back bend, up dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Yoga is very humbling, so honor wherever you need to go today. We'll meet all the way back at the top of the mat in a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, let it go. Inhale, rise all the way back up towards the sky, palms touch. And on your exhale, sink low, back to chair pose. Send your weight into your heels. Scoop your tailbone in. Forward fold, let it go. Inhale to half lift, gaze forward, spine straight. Exhale to step the left foot back, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Inhale, arms rise. Right forearm comes down on top of right thigh, left arm rises. Take a side bend towards the right. Peel your chest up. Inhale, arms rise. Shift your hips forwards, and on your exhale, cactus your arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lift. Last one. Exhale, cactus the arms. Squeeze, open your chest. Hands draw down to frame the front foot. Extend the right leg long. Come up onto the heel, toes pointing up towards the sky. Inhale to shift forwards, ground down the right foot. Raise the torso up, pressing the left hand on the floor. Twist the torso, shoulders, chest, and hips, taking the right arm behind you, gazing behind. Open the heart and use the core and the hips to stay in balance. Wicked pigeon pose. Gaze past your right fingertips. Inhale to come all the way back to the top of the mat. Pivot the left heel down, left toes face the long edge of the mat. Extend your arms out long to a T, warrior two. Check your alignment. Make sure you can see your right big toe behind your right knee stacking over ankle. Gaze towards the front fingertips. Energetically squeeze the mat together with both of your feet. Flip your right palm up, and on your exhale, bend towards the back of the mat, peaceful warrior. Left arm maybe binds behind your back, and your hand comes to your front thigh. Sink low in the hips. Inhale to come all the way back through. Flying warrior. And on your exhale, bend generously in your left knee. Sink your hips low, skandasana. Inhale back up to flying warrior. And on your exhale, bend generously in your right knee. Pivot the left toes to face the sky. Walk your hands to frame the front foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left, plank pose. Exhale, lower half or all the way. Inhale to back bend. Exhale to press it back, downward facing dog. Generously bend your knees, gaze towards your hands, and step, hop, or float your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Send your weight into your heels. Bend your knees generously. Inhale, swoop your arms up, chair pose. Sink your hips low. Scoop your tailbone in, your core is active. Straight spine. Inhale to extend the legs, lift the arms, palms touch. Exhale, hands draw down to heart center. Heel toe your feet to the outside edges of the mat, heels in, toes out. Inhale to swoop your arms all the way back up, palms touch. Exhale to sink your hips low, coming to a yogi squat or malasana. Ground down through all four ball points of your feet. Lengthen the tailbone down and lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. Actively press the backs of your arms into your legs and your legs into your arms, create resistance. And you might gently sway left and right in your hips, just inviting a little ease. Ground down your hands. Inhale to extend your legs long, forward fold. Exhale to bend your knees, sink your hips low, yogi squat, just inviting a little mobility here. Ground down through the palms. Inhale, extend the legs, forward fold. Exhale to bend the knees, sink the hips low, yogi squat. Ground down through the hands. Inhale, extend the legs long. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips low, yogi squat. Extend the right arm out long past your right knee and extend your left arm long up towards the sky. Gaze up past your left fingertips. You might stay here, or if it's in your practice, maybe you create a bind with your hands behind your right hip, focusing on twisting your torso to face the left wherever you may be. Release the bind, come all the way back to center. Inhale to extend the legs long, forward fold. Exhale to sink low in the hips, yogi squat. Switching sides, extend the left arm out long past the left knee, right arm rises up to the sky. Maybe you stay here, just focusing on twisting your torso. Or if it's in your practice again, create a bind behind your back. Clasp the hands right behind the left hip. Twist your chest. Release the bind with your hands, come all the way back to center. And then just coming into Palapasana, the easiest way to get there, just plopping down onto the seat. And then we'll just take a moment to windshield wipe with the knees left and right, just resetting the hips. We tend to store a lot of tension in our hips. Slowly come all the way down onto the spine, just coming down to our final cool down poses. Take a moment to hug your knees in towards your chest. Hug the left knee in towards the belly and extend the right leg long. Hold onto the knee with the right hand and extend the left arm out long past your shoulder. And on your next exhale, slowly fold the left knee over across the body to the right. Gaze long past your left fingertips. Just wringing your spine out like a towel, wringing out anything that's not serving you today. Inhale to come all the way back to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest, reset. Extend the left leg long and hug the right knee in. Hold onto the knee with the left hand. Extend your right arm out long past your shoulder. And then slowly guide your knee across your body, coming into a twist. Maybe you focus on gluing your right shoulder blade down onto your mat to create a little more. What else can you let go of? On your next breath in, come all the way back to center. Hug your knees back in towards your chest, reset. Float your feet down onto the mat. Walk your fingertips to meet your heels, setting up for bridge pose. Scoop your pelvis in and peel your hips all the way up towards the sky. You might grab the outside edges of the mat, or you may walk your arms underneath your back, interlace your fingers, walk your shoulder blades underneath your back, and energetically focus on rooting down through your arms to lift your hips up just a little higher. Release the bind with your hands and slowly melt all the way back down onto the spine, placing your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your chest. Just taking a moment to come back to 3-part breath. On inhale, feeling belly, rib cage, and chest rise. On exhale, feeling chest, rib cage, and belly melt back. Keep your awareness on your breath, letting your body sink fully into the mat. Feel the ground beneath you, holding you and supporting you. Let your arms, legs, and face soften, releasing any remaining tension. Now gently turn your awareness inward and begin to notice the tone of your inner dialogue, the voice in your mind that shapes your thoughts. Without judgment, just observe. Does it feel kind, encouraging, or perhaps it's been critical or heavy? As you rest here, imagine each inhale filling you with light and warmth, and each exhale releasing any words or thoughts that no longer serve you. Replace them with something simple. I am enough. I am capable. I deserve care and kindness. Let these affirmations take root within you. Visualize these affirmations as seeds being planted in the garden of your mind. With every breath, they're nurtured by sunlight, warmth, and care, growing into thoughts that uplift and restore you. Imagine this garden thriving, filled with vibrant energy, peace, and positivity. Take one final deep breath, and when you're ready, bring gentle movement back into your fingers and your toes, carrying the sense of growth and calm with you into the rest of your day. Wrapping your knees up in towards your chest, giving yourself a big hug for showing up and making it to your mat, sending yourself a little thanks. Come all the way back up to seated at your own pace. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and hope to see you on the mat next time. Until then, namaste.